1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The modernisation of the Minipe Dam and Yodha Alla were vested with the public yesterday. Leaders from emerging economies are visiting China for the Belt and Road Forum. It has been stated that economic and political relations between China and Sri Lanka have existed for a long period of time. The chief incumbent of the Mihintale Raja Mahavihara says that all religious leaders should gather together to rebuild the country at this crucial juncture. The government will take measures to safeguard the farmers while providing reasonable prices for their produce. In world news, UN warns that dual reserves at Gaza hospitals likely to run out in 24 hours. The modernization of the Minipe Dam and the Yodha Alla were vested with the public yesterday. The aim of this project was to create an agricultural environmental network. The left bank of the Minipe River, which is 74 kilometers in length, will be renovated by increasing the water capacity by 3.5 meters. The aim of this project is to provide the water supply for the Maha and Yala seasons. The necessary financial assistance for this project is being provided by the Asian Development Bank and the Sri Lanka government. A stream of leaders of emerging market countries are arriving in Beijing for a meeting organized by the Chinese government that will mark the 10th anniversary of its Belt and Road Initiative. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe both landed in Beijing today, following the arrivals of Chilean President Gabriel Boric and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban late on Sunday. Orban met with Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Premier Li Qiang. Hungary state news agency MTI said, under the initiative, a signature policy of Xi, Chinese companies have built ports, roads, railways, power plants and other infrastructure around the world in a bid to boost trade and economic growth. But the massive Chinese development loans that funded the projects have also burdened some poorer countries with heavy debts. Former ambassador to China and Foreign Secretary Dr. Palita Kohana says that the advantage of the empowerment of the economy while further enhancing the historic relations with China should be obtained. Participating in the Subharati program of the SLBC this morning, he said that the economic and political relations between the two countries have been existing for a long period of time. A large number of Chinese nationals visit Sri Lanka annually. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and we continue with local news. Chief incumbent of the Mihintale Raja Mahavihara, the Venerable Walava Hangunabava Dhammaratana Thera, said that all religious leaders should gather together to rebuild the country at this crucial juncture. Clear policies and long-term plans are needed to restore the country. The Thera also pointed out that strong disciplinary and financial auditing in all sectors are essential. The Thera made these remarks while participating at the Dasadesin Hatha program of the SLBC this morning. There is nothing lacking in our country, therefore the people of this country have the ability to stand up as an independent nation without seeking help from other countries. Minister Mahinda Amarveera said that the government will take measures to safeguard the farmers while providing reasonable prices for their produce. Information has been received that a 10% commission is being taken from farmers for their produce in Mullaitivu, Vavuniya, Kilinochchi and the Jaffna district. The minister also stated that stern legal action will be taken against anyone who demands a commission from farmers. The Climate Smart Irrigated Agriculture Project, funded by the World Bank, has teamed up with the Centre for Conservation and Research. A plan to install 261 mobile elephant electric fences or seasonal electric fencing should be installed by farmers at the start of cultivation and removed and stored after harvest. 475 million rupees will be spent to mitigate the human-elephant conflict. The project is being implemented by the CSIAP. The Climate Smart Irrigation Agriculture Project has shown that the use of community-based seasonal electric fencing is very effective in safeguarding paddy cultivations from elephant destruction. The human-elephant conflict is significant in all the CSIAP hotspot areas because the cultivation in the hotspot area is often threatened by wild animals, especially elephants. This program is being implemented in the Anuradhapura, Kurunegala, Puttalam, Kilinochchi, Mullaitivu, Trincomalee, Monaragala and Hambantota districts, where the Climate Smart Irrigated Agriculture Project is implemented. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The release of the 5th National Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Plan marks a significant point in the history of the National Mental Health Strategy, which commenced in 1992. Over the next 5 years, the 5th plan will be built on the achievements that have occurred in the first 25 years of national mental health reform. For the first time, this plan commits all governments to work together to achieve integration in planning and service delivery at a regional level. Director of the National Mental Health Institute, Dr. Dhammika Vijayasinghe said that this institution is rendering a yeoman's service to provide solutions for mental health patients. She also stated that the number of suicide cases in the country has increased during the past period.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
We now take a look at Watchlight. Health Services Director Office in Galle District says that there is a risk of communicable diseases spreading due to the decreasing of flood waters in the area. The risk of diseases spreading is affecting many areas in the Galle District. The health sector has requested the people to drink boiled water, and that came to you in Watchlight. We now take a look at world news. First, the headlines. UN warns that dual reserves at Gaza hospitals likely to run out in 24 hours. Daniel Noboa elected Ecuador's youngest president. Rishi Sunak to address Commons to outline UK response to Israel-Gaza crisis. The lives of thousands of patients will be at risk if fuel reserves at all of Gaza's hospitals run out in the next 24 hours, as is expected. The UN is warning. Conditions for people in Gaza are worsening, with water, food, power and medicines in scarce supply. Israeli troops continue to amass near Gaza ahead of an expected ground offensive targeting Hamas militants. Israel has told 1.1 million Palestinians living in the north of Gaza to move south. Businessman Daniel Noboa is to become the youngest president in Ecuador's history. At 35 years old, Mr. Noboa won yesterday's election with 52.3% of the vote ahead of Luisa Gonzalez, 47.7%. She conceded defeat and congratulated her rival. The 35-year-old of the National Democratic Action Party is a son of Alvaro Noboa, who ran unsuccessfully for the presidency 5 times. Mr. Noboa will only have 17 months in office until the next election. He will govern from the end of November 2023 to May 2025 due to the fact that the current election was triggered early when outgoing President Guillermo Lasso dissolved Parliament amid an impeachment trial. He can run again for 2025-29 presidential term if he wishes to. Rishi Sunak is to address MPs to set out the government's response to the unfolding crisis in the Middle East. The session will follow a visit by the Prime Minister to show support for the Jewish community, Downing Street said. It will also mark the first time Parliament has met since the 4-week recess for party conference season. Fears are growing of a humanitarian disaster in Gaza, with the UN warning that the territory's hospitals are likely to run out of fuel today. Hamas has warned that some 400,000 of the 1.1 million people in Gaza's north have so far complied with Israel's request that they move south. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. UN warns that dual reserves at Gaza hospital likely to run out in 24 hours. Daniel Noboa elected Ecuador's youngest president, Rishi Sunak, to address Commons to outline UK's response to Israel-Gaza crisis. That ends this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
Secretariat division constructed by the Ministry of Water Supply was vested with the public recently. Drinking water facilities will be provided to the 80 families. 5 million rupees has been allocated for the project. That was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by Shakti. Refresh your mind and body with Shakti Energy Drink. 350 rupees only. Available at island-wide leading groceries and supermarkets. Shakti. Taste the power.
The match between Sri Lanka and Australia of the World Championship Cricket Tournament will be played in Lucknow today. It is a day and night match and will begin at 2 p.m. today. Meanwhile, the Indian cricket team is leading at the point table of the ICC World Championship Cricket Tournament. New Zealand has secured the second place, while South Africa is in the third place. That was sports news.
Shakti. Refresh your mind and body with Shakti Energy Drink. 350 rupees only. Available at island-wide leading groceries and supermarkets. Shakti. Taste the power.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Tula, an enterprise co-founded by Dr. Roshini Rajapaksa and Vivek Nasta, has informed itself into a symbol of balance and success, propelling its position in the billion-dollar beauty segment. Tula Skincare, born from a fortuitous Conservation's Alliance of Beauty and Science. Ken Landis, a co-founder of the Bobbi Brown's Cosmetics, has joined forces with Rach, and their vision birthed a new line of skincare products that blended probiotics and superfoods, opening a new avenue industry. That was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In a pioneering move to bolster the small and medium-sized enterprise SME sector, the apex body of the ICT industry, FITIS, has unveiled the DigiGo Digital Playbook for SMEs. Organized by the FITIS Digital Service Chapter in collaboration with the KLD Domain Registry and under the patronage of Ministry of Industries and Plantation Industries as well as the Ministry of Technology, DigiGo aims to serve as a comprehensive resource for SMEs seeking affordable local digital services, guiding them on their journey towards digital transformation. That was economic news. And finally,
Weather report.
Showers or Sunday showers will occur over most parts of the island after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy showers of about 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Uber, eastern, northern and north-central provinces. A few showers may occur in the coastal areas of the western and southern provinces during the morning hours. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragama and Uber provinces during the morning. To end this afternoon's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The modernization of the Minipay Dam and Yor the Alla were vested with the public yesterday. Leaders from emerging economies are visiting China for the Belt and Road Forum. It has been stated that economic and political relations between China and Sri Lanka have existed for a long period of time. The chief incumbent of the Mihintale Rajamahaviharya says that all religious leaders should gather together to rebuild the country at this crucial juncture. The government will take measures to safeguard the farmers while providing reasonable prices for their produce. And finally, world news, UN warns that dual reserves at Gaza hospitals likely to run out in 24 hours. That ends this afternoon's news broadcast.